The Carolina kick team is out there ready to go, and they kick this one away. And they will wrangle it down a couple yards shy of the 30. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started.
Charles, we know that this offense is aggressive. We saw that last drive. They went for it on fourth down, didn't get it. Then they give up the touchdown. So now you feel like they really need to respond here.
They certainly do, but let's face it. Sometimes when you take that risk, you understand if you fail, a little more onus goes back on your ball club to try and pick themselves back up.
Ball on the 30 now. Here's second down and 8. Rattler wants to throw it. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
When defenses get to the quarterback that quickly, a lot of times it's called a jailbreak. It wasn't quite that fast, but fast enough that he had no time to look downfield and set himself to throw the ball. And as he tried to do that, he was hit and it forced an incompletion.
So the failure to connect on second down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Rattler working out of the gun. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. Excellent play there on 3rd down. Give him 25 yards.
And that's well executed there on 3rd down. And I love the confidence that they had to let their tight end try and find some space in the middle of the field, right in their quarterback's line of vision. And QBs love to make that easy throw, and they hooked up there for a 1st down.
Now a 1st down carry. It's Kamara. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down. Well, these two teams, they met in New Orleans earlier in the year with the Saints coming out on top. So a win here in Charlotte would give them the season sweep from the 41. Here's 2nd down and 7. Here's Rattler. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And it's picked up by the Panthers.
I know many talk about the kick return as maybe the most exciting play in football. But any type of a return where it's a change of possession, where the defense gets the ball, that's exciting too. But it's not just an accident. Once they get the football, they've worked on finding people to block, creating running lanes for the guy with the ball, and protecting him. And this one was a long run.
Absolutely. They did all of that and more. So now, just like that, things change dramatically. It's 1st and goal. Now Rattler. Dancing to his left. He throws it on the move, but can't connect as that falls incomplete.
Partner, this is almost an unwinnable spot for a defense. They have to come right out for a 1st and goal, trying to stop them. But let me hold on a second. Let me take that back real quick. They can win here if they force a field goal try. Still a long ways away from that happening, but that has to be what they're thinking right now.
And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a 3rd down. They'll look to throw for it with Rattler. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. The offense stays out there. A big challenge here from this far back, but they're going for it on 4th and goal. An audible here to get a new look. The Panthers going to use the 2nd of their timeouts. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. The offense is going to stay out there. We'll see what the play call is. They need to find the right one here on 4th and goal. They'll bring a receiver in motion right. They'll go. Here's Rattler. Flush to his right. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. They can't hook up here on the 4th down pass attempt, and the Panthers will get the football back. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. They've had a very solid first half, and as we near the end of that first half, they're just looking for a little more on top of their lead right now.
And when you put together a game plan on offense, you put together what you think is going to be the best possible scenario, right? Hey, we're going to score. These are the plays that are going to do it. But you also put together your counters, meaning after they make adjustments to what you're doing, what do we have to go to next?
The adjustment to the adjustment?
Exactly. So I can't wait to see if we come out of the half, how they're going to go about doing things. Do you just keep running what you ran before, or do you go to your counters expecting those adjustments?
And that's caught inside the 30. Touchdown, Carolina. A great play there with his second touchdown here in this first half.
And the Panthers are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. What a first half he is compiling here. He's already over 100 yards receiving and now 2 touchdowns, CD.
Brandon, you know I don't like to play the game where you start projecting when you're at a certain point. But let's face it, he's off to a tremendous start. So 200 yards, 4 touchdowns. I don't think anything's out of the question right now. He's blowing up coverages. You've got to double him every snap. Otherwise, he's going to defeat you on almost every play.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped it to 23-yard line.
Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. And a drive that stalled out last time. Went for it on 4th, didn't get it. How does that translate here? I would imagine momentum's with the defense.
Definitely with the defense, because anytime anyone goes for it on 4th down, that's telling you as a defense that you can't stop us. We don't think that you can. And when you actually do, that may put a little dent in the confidence of the offense the next time they hit the field.
Yeah, we'll see if they can bring that pride, the offense, this go-around.
2nd down and a little more than a yard here. They'll throw. Here's Rattler. Olave holds it in.
Able to get the 1 yard he needed, but nothing more. They're going to look to throw. And an incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock here with just under a minute to play in half number 1.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
Here's 2nd and 10. From the shotgun, Rattler. And he'll be touched down at the end, but a big play on that one. From the gun, here's Rattler. He completes it to Olave.
Yeah, he'll be out just a yard or 2 shy of the 30. Another good gain. That's now 35 yards combined on those last 2 plays. And he's top 5 in the league in terms of receiving yardage because of plays like that. What have you seen from him on film that you like so much?
Well, I'll strip away everything else and get to what we call the moment of truth. When the ball's arriving and there's a defender there, he just comes down with the ball. He competes and takes it away. Great hands, great ability to finish the catch.
They'll run out of the gun with Kamara.
And he fights forward for a modest 2-yard gain, 2nd down.
Now another timeout called for by the offense as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half.
Got it here at the 29 on 2nd and 8.
They'll look to throw here. Left sideline, a dive, and it looks like he's got it. Now a signal and a timeout call as it comes with 9 seconds to go in this first half of play.
When you're a player of his stature, you don't just circle the games on your team's calendar. You
circle the Pro Bowl?
Without a doubt. That's a game that you just figure you're going to be in each and every year. That's because of catches like that. That's why he goes.
Escaping the pressure right. And he will not throw it away. He goes out of bounds, well shy of the line of scrimmage, so that's a sack. So a loss of 5, and it'll be 2nd down.
So when the defense complains about having to do pursuit drills in the heat of training camp, plug in this play. Excellent pursuit. Force the quarterback out of the pocket. He ends up trying to run for it. Instead, he goes out of bounds and loses yardage. That goes down as a sack for the defense.
So we've come upon halftime here in Week 17 as we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach! And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the 3rd quarter. The Panthers out in front, and they will get the football first. Second half action underway.
And no return forthcoming. It'll be a touchback. And the 3rd quarter will start from the 30. This Carolina offense at the line, ready to go. And they've got the lead, CD. What do you expect from them in this second half?
Well, I liked what they were able to do on the ground in the first half because they had a lot of success running the ball, and I certainly think we'll see more of that. But I'd keep an eye on that defense, and I think their coaches up in the box will do the exact same thing. If they start to see 1 or 2 guys start to creep towards the line of scrimmage, that'll be licensed to take some shots downfield.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking. But the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
Ball on the 39. Here's 2nd down and 1. A handoff running left, Brooks.
And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line.
99 yards rushing for him now with a couple of touchdown runs to boot. Up the middle with Brooks here.
And forget that 100-yard rushing game, at least for the moment, as he'll lose yardage here and fall back under the century mark for the game. So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11. They'll try to throw now. Young. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
His back has been a dependable safety valve all game, so he went back to him when his first read was covered. Just unable to connect, so the play results in no gain.
Moore, the man in motion. Third down, Young from the gun. Rolling to his right. On the run, he'll let this go deep right side.
Oh, a dangerous pass there, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Paulson Adebo. And the Saints are going to take over here up near the 40.
Pretty much everything went their way offensively in the first half, but now an interception on the opening drive of the third quarter.
As we know, the key to everything here, don't get careless with the football. The problem is you've got to stay aggressive as well. So where's the line between being aggressive and attacking and being overly aggressive? I think they just crossed it on that one.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. They just got a little help from their defense forcing the turnover. Now can they make that pay off in points?
They need to, partner. They're down on the scoreboard. Need to take advantage of those opportunities, and this is a good one right in front of them.
So the completion results there in 9 yards, and it'll bring up a 2nd and short.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he's able to get... Down to the 40-yard line. That'll put him at 96 yards receiving now for the game, and he's got a first down as well. They'll pound it up the middle with Kamara. And, boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
Second and 10 now, third quarter from Charlotte.
He'll drop to throw. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another first down. Back to throw here. Flushed out right. And he'll be out of bounds just inside the 25-yard line. He'll get 3 yards on the scramble there at second down.
I did like his decision-making there to make sure they picked up something instead of forcing a throw. Now they've got more manageable play coming up to try and pick up the first down. And don't rule out the possibility that he just keeps it and runs again.
From the 24 now, here's second down.
Kamara trying the right side. And not much. Maybe a yard down to the 23.
That ground game contained again there, Charles, and that's really a big reason that they're trailing right now.
And give a lot of credit to that defensive front. That's exactly what they worked for all week, to try and take away the run game, make them one-dimensional,
In the battle of game plans, theirs has been superior.
Out of the gun now on third down. He'll buy some time right. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. 8 yards that time, able to take off, and the result is a first down. Kamara up the middle. And they'll get to him just inside the 15, even after that strong run we witnessed. A gain of 3, second down.
Another modest gain there on that one, and I think, Charles, you can probably pin part of the deficit on a failure on their part to really get this ground game established.
Yeah, they've really struggled to be multidimensional in this one, haven't they, partner? Because they have to be extremely one-dimensional now if they hope to get back into this game. They'll have to do it by throwing the football.
And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. Alvin Kamara with touchdown number 23 here on the year.
And the Saints are able to make some inroads here to that deficit.
That's a score you felt they had to have here in the third quarter to get back in this game.
And you know that there was an emphasis on their side. Hey, we know this. We know where we are. But sometimes that binds you up so much that you try too hard, you don't get the score. A perfect combination of urgency, yet relaxed enough to get it done.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
And he won't quite make it to the 25.
The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive.
So now, Charles, this drive maybe a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had the last time out.
Yeah, and everyone goes through this because even the best in the game, you're going to have games where it just doesn't go right for you and interceptions result. So, frankly, to me, it's all about how you respond, not just the types of plays that you call, but how you carry yourself, how you show your team that you're still with it, and how you continue to lead.
And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's third down.
I like the fact that he took the shot deep downfield. Even if you don't get the catch, maybe you get a defensive penalty and pick up the yardage that way.
Moore, the man in motion. Now Young. He's going to look deep for Moore. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up fourth down. Here's the Panthers punter now. And the way this offense has moved the ball, he hasn't been needed till here in the third. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. This is taken at the 18.
So the punt goes for 56 with a decent return of 13.
And the Saints will take over with a first down and 10. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense.
A strong showing their last time out. They scored the touchdown, but, Charles, they look up, and they're still down double digits, so you feel like just to keep pace, this drive probably needs to end in the end zone as well.
Yeah, and I think the best move for them is to not worry about how far they are down on the scoreboard, but to just remember the last drive and how it ended. Go ahead and try and repeat that. Then you can look at the scoreboard and see where this game is.
Here's a 2nd and 7. And that would not to be. It's incomplete. So they couldn't hook up as time has now run out on this. The offense on third down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 7. And they'll send the slot in motion left. On third down, he'll drop to throw.
He'll find Shaheed out to the right. And out of bounds on the other side of midfield at the 45. A good pickup there at 22.
Well, every drive from here out is definitely crucial and critical. They know that they need to get at least 3 here to get it back to a one-score game. But I can't imagine that in their huddle that they're thinking at all about getting a field goal. They want to get into the end zone and then try and get the ball back again.
The slot man in motion right. From the gun, it's a run for Kamara. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. 2nd and 13.
And the timing a bit off that time as that one falls to the ground.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
Throwing is Rattler. Pass taken in by his big tight end.
And they're going to have another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Panthers' 27-yard line.
Now they'll change things up. To the air is Rattler.
Eluding the pressure right. And he'll get this into the hands of Hill, complete. And out of bounds all the way down at the 3. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another 1st down.
Kamara bowling his way into the end zone. It's a touchdown. Well, they move the ball down the field through the air, Charles, and then finally they get the running game involved, and it works to perfection. Touchdown.
And, partner, I kept waiting for that running game to come into play, and they actually saved it until the very end. Touchdown goes on the stat sheet, but you and I both know, and he knows as well, his teammates airing it out made this a successful drive.
And he will get into the end zone to cut the lead down to a single point. The ball upright on the tee, and the Saints kick team booms it away.
Xavier Gipson now from his end zone. And he probably wishes he would have sat on that one. Instead, he's only able to get this up beyond the 15-yard line.
This Carolina offense at the line, ready to go. They've been asleep for a little while on this side of the football, Charles, and the score is just a one-score game now. Haven't had any points this half. What gives?
Let's go old school here, all right?
And that's caught inside the 30. Touchdown, Carolina. A great effort there. 84 yards.
And the Panthers use the big play to extend their 4th quarter lead.
And this is obviously quite a performance. And most of the time when we talk about someone putting a team on their back, I think we're talking about a guy who runs the football. In this case, it's a guy out wide catching it, and he's done exactly that, truly leading his team right now towards victory.
3 touchdown catches. He's been the headliner. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started.
And you figure after giving up that last touchdown, they trail by 2 scores here in the fourth quarter. This drive becomes very critical. Still 9 yards to go on second down from the 27.
They run it again with Kamara. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35.
43 yards rushing for him in the ball game now on 14 carries.
Well, they've certainly been successful throwing it around in this game, and that's allowed them to move the ball on offense. But I've got to tell you, to watch them run the football and successfully, I'm not taking sides, but to see the ball in a running back's hands, oh, that's football for me.
Same exact result as last play, a pickup of 11. But correct me if I'm wrong, you're down 2 scores. I don't think you need to rush just yet, but you can't take your time either.
Yeah, even if you don't want to commit to full 2-minute offense, you have to up the tempo, up the urgency. Maybe you're starting to call 2 plays in a huddle each time you snap the ball.
Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. 22 yards on the catch and run, a first down. Clock management definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
They'll look to throw now on first down. And this is intercepted, and that should do it.
And the Panthers are going to take over at their own 13-yard line. Well, we saw plenty of that during his much-heralded college career. He parlayed that into becoming a first-round selection. And now here he is making interceptions in the National Football League.
And this is a guy that has all the physical tools, but the thing that sets him apart is what he's got between his ears. And that's the sixth sense for knowing where the football is going. Just an excellent play there to create the turnover.
Looking for Sanders here on the deep ball.
Young is intercepted for the 3rd time this game. Picked off by Jaquan Brisker.
And they will finally stop him, but a great return. Gets that football all the way down to the 16-yard line.
So that changes things. You get the interception, and then to boot, a good return tacked on.
And really, it was down to him versus the quarterback on the return, and that's one you would think the defender would win. But a nice job there of seeing the play all the way to the end and making the tackle by the QB.
So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. So the completion good for 7 there. And it'll be 2nd down.
Rattler wants to throw it.
In trouble, and he'll go down back at the 12.
A loss of 3 on the sack made by multiple defenders.
2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports.
Well, the noise got to be an issue now offensively. Here's 3rd and 6. Rattler working out of the gun.
And that's going to be incomplete. The contact there enough to jar that ball free, and it brings up 4th down.
That means it's just one last chance left, and this has to be a first down or a touchdown, or this game's over.
And his kick is good.
So kind of disappointing there. I mean, yes, they get the 3, but with starting field position like that, 3's not what you're banking on.
No, and you just have to wonder if you can afford to let chances like that continue to pass you by. You've got to find ways to get the ball into the end zone and put 6s on the scoreboard.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
And this is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And this game not quite over yet. And we'll likely see them take all 3 timeouts defensively, so they can't just kneel this one out. They're going to have to try to run a few plays.
You're exactly right. They've got to get a first down and make them use up all their timeouts in order to feel like they have this one in hand.
He was close to flirting with that sideline, but able to stay in bounds like his coach wants him to do and keep that clock moving.
Isn't it funny that we're watching this play when we had that discussion just yesterday about this? What do you do in this scenario? What do what's your mindset? It appeared to me that he'd totally forgotten that he needed to stay in bounds, and then the last second, oh no, I better get down.
Oh, what a heck of an effort there as he'll make the diving catch. And he'll be down deep into New Orleans territory.
I just love how they're going about trying to finish off this game. This is not an offense that's going to go into a shell. They're going to keep exploiting weaknesses where they see them. And that's a huge pickup there with the game in the balance.
5 points of contact necessary at this stage as they'll run on first down. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2. As they get the stoppage with just over a minute to go in the game. This, in all probability, another run here on 2nd and 8. He's going to get it again. Just looking to get forward and protect the ball. Now the Saints will use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll get it with just a shade under a minute to go in the game. 3rd down and 10. Once again, it's Brooks. And this play gets blown up. They'll lose yardage. Back at the 17. Hey, a lot of points have been scored in this game against them, but tally that one on the side of the defense.
Do you think maybe, possibly, it can be a little bit of a changer for them? Maybe not a game changer, but a little bit of a momentum one that maybe they can string together some pretty good plays and slow them down.
So here we go. Maybe the biggest kick of the game forthcoming. This to perhaps salt this one away. And this one is right through. So after 5 touchdowns offensively, hey, maybe it's time to get the kicker a little work, and he's able to connect there.
I love that empathetic side of you. You're worried about him getting some action, getting to be a part of the game. Well, he got in and got it done.
The Carolina kick team is out there ready to go, and they kick this one away. And not willing to risk a return. This ball's going to come out to the 30-yard line. This is 1st and 10. Here's Rattler. Flush to his right. An off-balance throw there, and it's going to wind up incomplete.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
When you're leading in the final quarter, your radar has to be up for any potential deep shots. And probably not the last one they're going to see in this game, not as long as they hold this lead.
Now Rattler. And that is going to officially draw the curtain on this one as the last throw intercepted. Andrew Booth picks it off, and the Panthers come up with a late turnover, but it will probably only matter to the statisticians as this ball game is now officially over. So this one is over. A victory for Carolina, and they were really helped by their defense, forcing 3 turnovers.
I think what we saw in this one, today's defense. And what I mean by that is in the old days, pitching shutouts was big time. That was paramount. But the big thing was holding people down, holding down their yardage, right? Don't let them throw the ball through the air and gain a lot of... But now, it's about taking the ball away. Taking away possessions, getting the ball back for their offense. They had 3 takeaways in this one, and it led them to victory.
So for Carolina, they get the critical victory to move them to 9-7 now. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.